back with our breaking news in the Israel-Hamas war, and joining us now for a live interview is Isaac Herzog, the president of Israel. Mr. President, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. Your military says it is now expanding the assault to every part of the Gaza Strip, including southern Gaza, where civilians, of course, were told to go. The UN says there are now nearly 2 million civilians who are displaced inside Gaza, over 85% of the population. Where exactly are civilians supposed to go now?
Under international humanitarian law, if somebody attacks us, attacks anybody, we have the right to defend ourselves. Now, that means that if a terror organization is also all based throughout the terrain of Gaza Strip, in houses, in living rooms, in shops, in mosques, then we have to go in. In order to do that, we alert the civilians. We send them leaflets by the millions. We call them by the millions. We text them by the millions. And then we direct them to safe zones where they can stay. That's exactly what we are doing. And we actually worked on that program and that plan with many of our partners. We're simply in Khan Yunis, telling a small area to move out so that we uproot the tunnels, we can find hostages, please God, we can kill the terrorists, and hopefully finally be able to end this war by getting Hamas out and giving a hope and vision to the Palestinians and to the Israelis.
I understand you're making efforts to protect the civilians, but we've all seen the pictures of the destruction, the desperation, and the death toll is climbing. In fact, an IDF spokesman confirmed yesterday that the military believes about 2 civilians have been killed in Gaza for every Hamas militant. Is that acceptable to you?
I'm unaware of this quote by a IDF spokesperson, but I will say the following. This war is a war that is not only between Israel and Hamas. It's a war that is intended really, truly, to save Western civilization, to save the values of Western civilization. We are attacked by a jihadist network, an empire of evil emanating from Tehran, with its forks in Lebanon with Hezbollah, with Hamas in Gaza, with the Houthis in Yemen. This empire is in Iraq, and this empire wants to conquer the entire Middle East. And if it weren't for us, Europe will be next and the United States follows. I remind all about 9/11 and thereafter, meaning there are extreme fundamentalist thoughts that want all of us out, and that's what we are facing, and the world has to understand it. We didn't want this war, God forbid. We went through hell, but we have to defend our people and enable everybody to go back to the region and live in peace. That's what we are doing for the sake of the entire world.
You mentioned 9/11, and President Biden here in the U.S. has talked about the mistakes the U.S. made after 9/11. So fast forward, here you are trying to kill Hamas, trying to retaliate after October 7th, trying to protect your people and the state of Israel. You can kill as many Hamas fighters, of course, as you want, but do you risk losing the larger war by creating more hate, more enemies for the future, the next generation of terrorists and extremists?
But at the end, it's a very, very cruel and complicated and mind-boggling decision. We have 150 hostages down there in the cellars in Gaza, old people and young women. You just discussed it. Why are they not released? We have children there, and we had other families there, and we have so many other nationalities there. How do we get out and get them? They're 2 or 3 miles from us, but we have to get them. They're in a city of terror underneath, which was financed by so many sources. We have to get to them, and unfortunately there are civilians there, so we are taking all the necessary precautions. But without, I mean, it's very easy to judge Israel, and it happened in your neighborhood or in your city. You may think otherwise, and may I add, the horrific testimonies. We heard yesterday issues, but what happened to women in Israel who were mutilated, raped, molested, attacked, chopped, burned, and abducted is the real battle we are holding, because we are here to defend the values of liberal societies, of LGBTQ, which Hamas fights endlessly, of women and children and free people who all they want is peace, and they are time again attacked and attacked and attacked. And unfortunately went to the biggest horror in history since World War II.
But if the goal is to make Israel safer and to make sure that the Jewish people are safer in the long run, is there no other way? Is displacing 2 million people and attacking refugee camps and hospitals the only way to go about this strategically?
But Anna, where's the world? For decades we've been saying it. First, the world told us, get out of Gaza. Get your settlements out of Gaza. We did that in 2005. We told the world and we told our people that it will be the new Hong Kong of the Middle East. We pulled out to the last iota. Then, within a year, they took it over with an Iranian-led platform and turned it into a military base with 10,000 missiles on our heads in the last 2 decades. What exactly are we supposed to do? Just sit idly by and be killed? That is the tragedy we've faced. And the world has many hypocritic leaders, especially in our region, who have financed this war machine, who's played it with the devil, who have danced with the devil, who have to look in the mirror and say to themselves, we have helped develop an empire of monstrosity, of criminals, of terrorists who must be removed from our area.
I wish we had even more time today. There are so many other topics to discuss, so many facets to the current situation and this war against Hamas. Thank you, Mr. President, for taking the time. We appreciate it, and I hope we'll be able to speak again soon. Thank you.